Okay, now I normally don't talk about the recaps, but I can't get over how they keep talking about this.
But for the survivors, the final hurdle had been overcome. Now nothing could prevent us from reaching White Deer Park.
Stop talking like it's already over! You've still got 2 episodes to get through here, and you've got one hell of a hurdle now. Anyway, we get our opening shot for the episode that shows our threat, the farm that the animals have to cross through. It almost feels like the first part of the journey is repeating itself again. But don't worry, we will get something new. So the animals are marching through the cabbage patch, with them all very concerned about how overexposed they are on the flat farmland.
What's wrong? There's nothing in sight, and I can see for miles.
Exactly. We can be seen for miles.
It's too exposed here.
Well, there are worse places to be overexposed, like in a photography studio. But naturally, the animals start getting hungry, but they don't have anything for the more grub-liking animals to enjoy. But speaking of which, I just had a thought about something. What are the more carnivorous animals like badger, fox and vixen eating at this point? I mean, they do mention that they go hunting, but we never actually see it. So as far as we're concerned, they're actually starving themselves on this journey. Which is commendable, but oh well, it's probably just something they forgot to address. Of course, Mole starts to go on his own kind of hunt, but the herbivores start to take matters into their own hands.
I've never seen a nicer young cabbage.
Stop!
I think I saw some dirt!
I don't like the smell of it.
But I'll faint if I don't eat soon.
Good. Then maybe you'll shut up.
Now there's team spirit for you. Truly Hare's on the level with Lawrence of Arabia in the amount he cares about his companions.
Look around you, Badger. Do you see any field mice?
There's no animals at all. Not even caterpillars. And they love cabbages.
Strange, isn't it?
See what you mean.
There are no flowers either. No buttercups, poppies or daisies. Just
Cabbages.
It's the plague of the overgrowing cabbages. Forget Creepshow, this is the true plant invasion of the world. They've eaten everything else. And they will do until there is nothing left. But thankfully Al uses her Remy the Rat-like intuition to spot the huge barrels of poison! Seriously, how paranoid is that farmer to have that much pesticide and herbicide? What is he expecting a graboid from Tremors to show up and he wants to be prepared? But of course she goes back to tell the others, but unfortunately Vol makes yet another stand against Fox, in that he wants to eat the cabbage.
Doesn't mean we can't eat anything. If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. We smaller animals must demand our rights.
You know what, you furry turd? Go ahead. Go ahead and eat the bloody green balls of death. You can go and eat them and then join the other dead ones up high, and you can go and say to them, I've really fucked up here. So Fox gets the train together to tell them about the danger.
Quiet. Owl has something to tell us.
You are standing on poisoned land. It's in the ground we walk on, in the air we breathe, and the plants which seem so luscious are probably deadly.
But how?
It was done deliberately.
The farmer. I knew I recognized that smell.
He keeps the poison hidden even from his own kind. There are some things even humans don't approve of.
Jeez, I haven't had a food shock like this since the horse meat scandal.
But what will they do with the cabbages?
Eat them!
Well, won't they die too?
Who knows? Perhaps very slowly.
I get that this episode was probably trying to push the whole non-organic food message, which... it's a commendable cause, especially for children, but you're already tentatively pushing the animal cruelty message. You keep going with more messages and more things to say to the kids, and you'll end up becoming more preachy than Al Fiver and Al Gore combined. Just watch your step, or you'll end up turning into a more Marmite version of Captain Planet. Naturally, the animals want to make tracks, but unfortunately, one of them slipped under them again.
Oh no, Moley! What have you done? Hello, Badger. Moley, how many worms did you eat? None. They were all dead. Oh, thank the Lord.
Don't you mean Frith?
Aren't we stopping to eat? I'm so hungry. Moley, your appetite will be the death of you one day. Why? What's wrong? I'll tell you as we go along.
So of course after that they make a move on out of the death field. Attack of the killer cabbages. Do you think it would catch on? Anyway, the squirrels manage to find themselves an apple tree, but a dubious sticky liquid manages to make one of the squirrel's legs stick to the tree.
What is it?
Another human trick.
He can get covered in the entire sap and then we'll have a squirrel equivalent of Jurassic Park. Regardless of safety, the animals are still getting rather hungry, which is understandable. So they start to think on what to do, with Ada doing her typical bit of putting the fear of death into them. But unfortunately it seems that their only hope will just do that for them.
So, Fox, what shall we do?
Kestrel? Can you see anywhere nearby where we might find food?
Just fields and fields as far as the eye can see. Nothing. There's a town a long way off.
All right, so humans have taken away our food. So why don't we take away theirs?
What do you mean?
Scavenge.
And we're expected to go hungry, I suppose. It's all very well for you.
Be quiet. We larger animals, Vixen, Owl and Whistler, can go foraging for everyone. Anything you want. Put in your orders now.
Looks like Fox is starting a delivery service to extend his business. And so of course the feathery plane, the furry train and the red automobile make their plans for scavenging and set out.
What have you found?
I don't know. I smell food.
Looks like I've seen a fox with a Chinese menu on his nose, bopping through the streets of the village in the night, looking to get a big dish of beef chow mein. Thankfully Warren Zevon's not going to have to sue because Al manages to knock over a bin to give them all the food they need. But unfortunately it doesn't bear much other than just a dinner for Whistler. Meanwhile the smaller animals and Badger are trying to do what anyone would do without any food when they're hungry. Try to sleep. But let's really hope that they don't start sleepwalking, otherwise half the group will be gone by morning.
If Whistler doesn't get back soon, I'll eat.
The oath.
I'd eat that if it was on 4 legs. Or even 2.
You gotta love Ada's comments. Sometimes I think she does a better job than I do at making fun of all this. Even if she does seem to end up being a landing platform for Whistler.
You're doing it on purpose.
Oh, do excuse me. I never was much good at landing on dry land. Anyway, look, I brought meat.
I forgive you. Did you say meat?
I guess the presentation of food makes Weasel's head bounce up and down like a crash test dummy. Or like an NPC in Skyrim when a dragon appears. Regardless, Weasel and Ada are the only ones who can eat for now, while Whistler goes off to get some more food for the rest of them.
We can't eat that. Neither can the rabbits. Oh, please be patient.
Fox, where are you?
Here.
Well, he's screwed. Oh, never mind. Seriously, why are all the dogs in this show complete morons? So the foxes try and outrun Churchill's lobotomized cousins, of which does not work, and they both just run after Fox instead. Look at those dogs. They're completely gobsmacked at the awesomeness they've just seen. Anyway, Vixen exhaustively makes her way back to the train, but saying that she doesn't know where Fox is and she hasn't seen him recently. Of which doesn't matter because we just saw him a minute ago and he was fine.
I'm going back to look for him.
In daylight? Oh, no, my dear. It's not safe.
But Fox...
He'll find his way back to us. He always has, you know. And we need you to help us find our way out of the poisoned land.
The darkest hour is just before the dawn. Well, it is.
I guess Al wanted to make sure the audience knew that. But it seems that Fox must have taken a kip under a tree or something, or in the gutter, because he hasn't returned by morning. So the animals try and make a trek out to you-know-where yet again.
Leave that alone!
These cabbages smell different.
Perhaps this field hasn't been poisoned.
And I'm so hungry.
Me too. We didn't get much lettuce last night.
Always complaining, not a hint of gratitude.
Why don't you try it first, Badger?
Oh, what a good idea. Then I'd know whether it was safe to eat or not.
Selfish bastard. Always out for number one, that's him. Even the cat from Red Dwarf wasn't this heartless.
Delicious.
If there's anybody out there who's a herpetologist or knows anything about snakes, please let me know if they would eat something like that or not. I mean, it just doesn't seem like something that an adder would eat, though I could just be completely wrong on that. So after another failed attempt at imitating Car from the Jungle Book, the animals then see their fearless leader returning from the unnecessary separation. But right now we see that the harvest has begun. Well, in actuality it's just a big combine harvester coming towards them, but that's still not exactly the friendliest looking thing in the world. Wait. Combine harvester? You know what this means.
'Cause I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key. Come on now, let's get together in perfect harmony. I got 20 acres and you got 43. Now I got a brand new combine harvester and I'll give you the key.
So it seems like they're deer in the headlights again, but don't worry, Fox has come up with an actually rather ingenious plan.
But I know the one place the humans aren't going to go.
Where?
The place they've poisoned already. Back the way we came.
That's actually pretty clever. So let's go. So Fox heads back to the hysteric animals and tells them what to do.
Now listen, all of you.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, but we've got to move quickly. Those tractors will be back and they're spraying poison.
Oh, no.
We'd better run for it.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Stop! Not that way. Back the way we came.
Are you telling us we've got to go back to that terrible place where we couldn't eat anything?
That's what I'm telling you.
You can tell me till you're blue in the face, but I'm not going.
Not me.
We smaller animals are sick and tired of being pushed around.
You'll do as I tell you, or else.
Or else what?
Or else I'll bite your head off.
Whoa, Fox! I know you've had your issues with leadership, but this is going a little bit too far. You're taking advice from Ada now on how to inspire people. So the train decides to head back to the poison field with the tractor in hot pursuit, with Rabbit playing possum just before he's almost splattered.
I got sprayed.
Well, that's one golden shower that I think would definitely shut him up.
I got sprayed. I'm going to die. And it's all your fault.
Poor old Rabbit.
Come off it, you're all right. That stuff isn't good news if you happen to be a caterpillar. But it isn't so bad for us.
Then why were you making such a big deal out of it earlier? Honestly, it's like the writer couldn't figure out if he wanted this to be an actual threat or a comedic setback for Rabbit. Anyway, it seems that Fox's separation actually does have a purpose. He's found them a much safer way of getting to White Deer Park than through the poison field.
We don't have to go through the field at all.
What? Are you sure? Where can we go?
You mean we've got to start walking? Again? Now?
But I've only just got here.
Don't give up, mateys. White Deer Park is just the other side of that town. The one Fox and Vixen went foraging in last night.
Toad's right. So that's what we're going to do. Go through the town.
We can't go through the town. We'd never make it. It's much too dangerous.
For once, Rabbit's actually got a point. You'd be skinned alive and buggered if you went through there. But this is what I was talking about earlier. The town may present the animal's greatest threat yet, and none of them seem to even know that it exists until now. And no, you can't make the excuse that Toad didn't go through it, because if he didn't go through it, how does he know that White Deer Park is on the other side of it?
I've seen White Deer Park. It's on the other side of the town.
What did I tell you, mateys, eh? It's the last stage of our journey. Come on!
Well, this was an interesting one. It's definitely a unique episode for this series, with the animals going through a really great hunger, the poisoned food teasing them, the larger animals going into the middle of civilization, something that hasn't happened yet for the first time to forage for food, and nearly getting run over by a tractor. Surely this would be a great episode, right? Or it would be if it wasn't for the incessant whining. That's all the smaller animals do, whine and complain. Granted, they're all hungry and tired, but we're still supposed to feel for them, and it's hard to do so when they're more insufferable than Hayden Christensen, Chris O'Donnell and Kate Capshaw combined. Though I will be fair, the larger animals and any of the others who don't complain do come off as competent and efficient here, particularly Fox, who does a great many things to save both himself and his friends. In all honesty, this episode's rather unique and interesting in its own way, in that it shows a very unique threat and some very unique situations. In all honesty, it's really just the warm-up for the next big event. So tune into the next episode where things are going to become a real pandemonium.